we'll be going to be back here with our final comments right after this. Keeping the hands warm and keeping footing will be the factors here. Now stay tuned for the Liberty Bowl after these messages.
Memphis, Tennessee, the 25th annual Liberty Bowl. Brought to you Michelob Light, an exceptional light beer with a rich, smooth taste. And by IBM. And for the new Chrysler Corporation, makers of quality-built Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge cars and trucks. And by GTE, advancing technology in telecommunications and electrical products. And by Holiday Inn Hotels. For worldwide reservations, call 800-HOLIDAY.
And here we are at the Liberty Bowl. I think both clubs are going to stay in that locker room until they are forced out of there. The temperature right now, just before game time, is 18 degrees. Neither team has had an outdoor workout in about 2 weeks with a bitter cold in Boston, South Bend, and in Memphis. But it's been cold all around the country in the record-breaking cold wave we've had in America. I'm Kurt Gowdy to call the play-by-play for you. And it's a special kick for me to be working for the first time ever in a booth with Bud Wilkinson. I had a very lucky break in my career of getting to broadcast Bud Wilkinson's Oklahoma teams when he assumed command down there at the age of 30. And he ran up the 2 longest winning streaks in college football history, 31 in a row and 47 in a row. He's one of the all-time greats. Bud, just a brief remark on the field here tonight and the weather.
Well, the weather is obviously very cold, as you said. The field, however, is in better condition than you'd expect. They had a tarp on it all during the week. They didn't take the tarp off until today. All of the rain, all of the snow had gone by, no ice. And the field itself, to start the game, is in good shape. Whether it'll freeze during the game remains to be seen. Well,
speaking about freezing, a man freezing down there in those sidelines tonight is our comrade Dave Dials. And, Dave, you've been trotting on that field. How is it?
Oh, now we're friends, that I'm freezing and you're warm.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something. You mentioned it's 18 degrees. It is going down a little right now, and the wind chill factor is 0 right now, Kurt. There is a danger on the field. Both coaches have just talked to me. It is starting to freeze up in the middle, and both coaches have told their players, be careful when you come to the sidelines. You know, years ago, Kurt, when I was a student at Ohio University, I got very tired of hitchhiking back and forth. I had no money. So I came back to Meigs County, Ohio one weekend, and I said to my dad, I'm going to quit college, and I'm going to go to work for the New York Central Railroad, like he did. And he told me how long I had to get back to college. There wasn't much of a conversation about it, and I made my 10 o'clock class. But on this chilly night, Kurt, you know, that little old red caboose with that pot-bellied stove looks awfully good.
I'll bet you wish you had it down there tonight. And here's the Notre Dame squad coming out, the Fighting Irish. By the way, it's 2 degrees in South Bend right now, so maybe they're glad they're here. Many of their fans thought, as we said earlier, they shouldn't have accepted the bowl bid, but we're going to talk to Bud Wilkinson about that later. Notre Dame on the field. BC will be out later, and we're going to be back here with more of our pregame show right after this message. Here comes Boston College.
Win at this game, your feet need help. They need an edge. I gotta do fast starts, quick stops, jumping, kicking, miles of foot-pounding running. Here's my winning edge. Super tough insoles for motor readers.
Super tough. Reduce shock and...
It's very precise patterns. I think the key, though, Kurt's the defense that Boston College must play to win. Their opponents have been averaging 330 yards a game. Notre Dame is 9th in the nation in total offense. If they can stop Plinkett, Boston College has got a great shot.
All right, let's go down to the 50-yard line now. We're going to have the coin toss as the captains come out. The coin used in the official toss is the 1983 U.S. Olympic silver coin. The U.S. Treasury Department has minted the coins to raise funds for the 1984 Olympics. Proceeds from the sale of these Olympic coins will be used to train and house U.S. amateur athletes and stage the 84 games in L.A. Now, to order your coins, please call toll-free 800-231-1984. And in California, 800-223-1984. All right, let's listen in. Boston College won the toss. They'll receive. Notre Dame will kick off. There's no wind right now, or no breeze, luckily, or we'd be down about 20 below zero. All right, let's take a look at Notre Dame. A disappointing year for them. They hope to atone somewhat for this season by winning against Boston College tonight. Notre Dame's a 3-point underdog. And we have 2 quarterbacks probably in the game tonight, but the senior Blair Keel will start.
Blair Keel has had a very fine career at Notre Dame. The coaches think that he tries so hard that he sometimes gets a little bit too tight. However, if he has a hot hand, he'll play the majority of the game. If he's not going well, then he'll be relieved by Berlin, who is a freshman and a truly great freshman football player for the Fighting Irish. The key to the Irish offense is Alan Pinkett, their great tailback. He's carried the ball 232 times, has averaged 5.5 yards per carry. He's also their leading pass receiver.
Incidentally, you fans are probably going to see the best 2 5'9" players in America tonight. Doug Flutie for Boston College and Pinkett for Notre Dame. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go down for the national anthem that will be sung by Marguerite Piazza.
And join the internationally renowned star of opera, television, and supper club, Memphis' own Miss Marguerite Piazza, and the Boston College Band in singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight all around but we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets witnessed the bands bursting in it, giving through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ball on that side. You do it. Kickoff of the 25th Liberty Bowl game. Fireworks display here, and back here in just a moment.
I took roll.
To the year, they'll be getting the real specialists out there.
They're staying close together to stay warm, Kurt.
Right now, we just talked to the Weather Bureau here in Memphis. It's 11 degrees. 11 degrees at game time. And now Boston College breaks out. They're going to have Tyrone Taylor, 21, and Ken Bell, 24. Taylor will be on the near side, Bell to the far side. Just a slight breeze in the back of Notre Dame here in the first period. Regardless of the cold, Jack Bicknell, their coach, said we're going to come out throwing. We don't care what the weather is, rain, mud, sleet. We like to pass. We pass to establish the run. They'll look for BC to start throwing the ball right away here in the first period. We have a holdup of some kind. I think they're waiting for the bands to clear out. What about the shoes, Bud? They had 3 choices tonight: regular cleats, artificial turf shoes, or sneakers.
And I think to begin the game, both teams will be wearing their regular grass cleats.
And if it gets colder, they'll switch to something else.
And as the field freezes, more and more the tendency to go to the sneakers.
All right, we're waiting the whistle. And here we go with the 25th annual Liberty Bowl game. This one is driven to Bell on the 5. 10 Bell comes up to the 20, 25, good return, 30, 35, still going. He's at the 38, and they take him backwards, and he stopped along the 37, 38-yard line, but a 33-yard return. The tackle by Hiawatha Francisco, the second-string tailback of the Fighting Irish. 37-yard line. Boston College with a first down. Doug Flutie's at quarterback.
He's 5'9", 175, as we said. Hit 51% of his passes during the past season.
There's the tailback.
And he's not a big man either. 5'8", 182, but he's averaging 5.6 yards per try.
And Beestick is the fullback.
And he's a big blocker, 6'2", 237 pounds.
On first down, Flutie scrambling. Still, this is a typical Flutie. Throws it out, and he throws it into the crowd over the sideline, threw it away. Got rid of it. He couldn't find anybody open. So it'll be second down, 10. Gieselman was the intended receiver, the tight end, and there he is right there. They go to him a lot.
And Phelan is their flanker. He caught 22 passes, an average of 18.6 per reception during the season. And the other wide receiver is the man we mentioned earlier, Brennan, a senior who was truly a remarkable pass reception man with the speed he possesses.
Second down, 10. Boston College on his 37, just underway. Take a look at Flutie's hands. He's a little man in height, but he has big arms, big hands, and powerful legs. Gives it off on the draw play. That's Jim Brown, number 32 from Pontiac, Michigan, the fullback. He gets to the 40, and that's all. He ran into Greg Dingens, the end. Now here's the line, Bud.
Regent's the tackle, 6'4", 265 junior. McDonald is the other tackle. He's also 6'4", 262, and a senior. The guards are Bardwell, 6'1", 258 pounds. The other guard, Regan, he's 254 pounds, 6'2", and the center, Bessers, replacing Bicknell, who hurt his ankle in practice.
Chris Trapuka's in it as a wide receiver now. They're in a spread. 3rd and 7 for Boston College from their 40. Flutie on the straight drop back. Fires. Great catch at the 42 of Notre Dame. The ball fumbled. Or was it a completion? And then a fumble. Brian Brennan with those sure hands of his. Let's see how they rule it.
Brennan, as we mentioned, has got the ability to run the very precise patterns. Flutie delivers the ball while he's making the break across the middle. He's high in the air. You can see that he bobbled it just for a moment, but then was able to make the reception and got them off the hook. 3rd down, long yardage when the play was called.
Oh, a big 3rd down play by Doug Flutie. 1st down, Boston College on the Notre Dame 43. They're in their single back setup. Receiver open. It's complete inside the 15 to the 14. So Janik went back down the field to make the grab, and hitting Brendan Murphy, who has played very little this year, caught the ball.
Again, Flutie gets excellent protection from his offensive line. Give him this much time, let him slide a little bit in the pocket. He'll find the receivers open, and Brennan's down past everyone. Linebacker on him who did not have quite enough speed to cover the receiver.
Boston College employs about 25, 26 formations, and they use a lot of players. They give you a lot of thinking problems on defense. They do all kinds of things.
Doug Flutie didn't like what he saw, Kurt, so he took a timeout. They're so close to being able to put some points on the board, he didn't want to waste a play.
So he goes over there now to talk to Jack Bicknell, the head coach. Our first time out. We have 13 minutes to go in the first period. Boston College is threatening to score. Notre Dame nothing, Boston College nothing.
All right. Thinking about throwing in the towel?
No, think about making it Michelob Light for the winners.
Your serve.
Would good friends really play this hard for a beer? Well, it is Michelob Light.
Notice the receivers wearing gloves.
And that was a very fine throw. Stratford feels sick, as you always do when you drop one that could have put you first down or maybe even resulted in a touchdown.
3rd down, 9 to go. Boston College on the Notre Dame 17. Brennan spreading to the right. Phelan to the left. A split backfield. 3rd and 9. Stratford and Beestick are the backs. They try to blitz him. There's the pass, and it is a touchdown. He hit Brian Brennan for the score. 12:07 to go in the first period. Brian Brennan has just come up with his 9th touchdown catch of the year. All-time Boston College record receiver.
Excellent job of picking up the blitz. You can see number 23, Stratford, made the key block on the blitzing safety man. Brennan one-on-one is able to defeat the Notre Dame cornerback easily. Catches the ball in the end zone for the score. Let's take a look at it from another angle. You can see the Notre Dame cornerback who's got man-on-man. He can't quite stay with Brennan as he runs that sharp post pattern to the outside, and the ball is right on the numbers.
Oh, great drive engineered by Flutie. 63 yards. The kick is up, and it is no good. Boston College, this may be their weakness here, their place kicking game. They missed quite a few extra points this year, and their field goal percentage was not very good. And their coach, Bicknell, says, I do a lousy job of coaching kickers. All right, we're going to be back here. There's 12:07 to go in the first period. Boston College just struck the first time in their possession, and the score, Boston College 6, Notre Dame nothing.
Johnson.
3 men deep for Notre Dame. Alonzo Jefferson will be in the middle. Greg Bell's on the far side. He's had a bad ankle. He's just returning to action. And Miller, a freshman flanker's on the near side. And kicking off will be Brian Waldron. He can drive it deep. Kicking against a slight wind. It's going to the far side to Bell. Fumbles the ball on the 8. They're in trouble. And he is slammed down on his 13-yard line. Gary Foss was telling Bud and me today that they've had poor field position all season long. They just can't get good field position. Here's the Notre Dame backfield. There's the senior quarterback, Blair Keel. He'll be starting.
6'1", 206-pound senior, hit 55% of his passes during the regular season. And this is Chris Smith, the fullback. He's a big man, 6'2", 231 pounds, averaging 5.5 yards a carry. And the key to the offense, Pinkett, their tailback, averaging 5.5 yards, rushing the football.
BC knows it must stop Pinkett, number 20 tonight, to have a chance to win this game. There he is with the ball. He's out to the 17. He's hit by Ted Gaffney, the right linebacker, 57. Pinkett's had an amazing year. We'll be talking about him in a minute. Here are the Notre Dame receivers coming up. There's the tight end, Bud, Mark Libero.
And he's a big one, 6'4", 246 pounds. Fine receiver, fine blocker. And Jackson is their wide receiver. He's had 23 receptions, 19-yard average, 181 pounds, 6 feet tall. The other wide receiver, Howard, smaller man, 5'9", 171 pounds, but very fast.
Notre Dame runs out of the eye most of the time. 2nd and 6. Keel on the rollout. The flip. It is incomplete to the 25-yard line. And the pass was intended for the tight end, Vivero. Now here's the offensive line.
And Schreiner, the tackle, is 269 pounds, 6'8", a senior. Perino, the other tackle, 6'5", 271 pounds. This is a very tall offensive line. At one guard, Scannell, who is 604, 270 pounds. Mauney is the other guard. He too is a big man, 6'5", 278 pounds, and a senior. And the center, an Irishman, Mike Kelly, 6'5", 269.
Third down 6, Notre Dame on their 17, trailing 6-0 early in the first period. Blasting through, it looks like a first down over the 30 out to the 35 is the fullback Chris Smith. And they plan to run their fullback more in this game than they have this season. The fullbacks have been mostly blockers, so that's a good third down play for Notre Dame.
Just a straight ahead handoff to Smith and straight ahead blocking. You can see them just pick everybody off. They had a little stunt on. The linebacker moved to the outside. Smith cut back away from that, almost broke it, and is tackled by Thurman. Notre Dame, as you said, Kurt, Notre Dame plans to run the fullback more. Also, they'll use more motion tonight than they have during the regular season.
They had very little motion during their season. They're in the I, first down on their 35. BC leading 6-0. 10:50 to go in the first period. There's a fake. Now the pass is deep, and he's out there, and it is batted away at the 25. Milt Jackson, the receiver, and Ratajkowski, number 15, flicked it away from him. Ratajkowski is the fastest man in the Boston College secondary, which is a veteran secondary and a very solid one.
And the pros think that Ratajkowski is the best prospect on the Boston College team defensively. It's a senior secondary for the cornerman and the strong and free safety.
Timeout on the officials. You notice the quarterback Keel, when he went back in the huddle, was looking at a playlist taped onto his left wrist. You can see it there underneath his left forearm. That reminds me of the time that the Colts played Green Bay and they got down to Tom Matty, who had to go in. Unitas was out. They're all gone, and Matty put all the numbers on his arm, taped them on, and that's the only way he could call the plays in the game. Get a second down 10, Notre Dame on their 35, trailing 6-0. Keel keeps the ball to Jackson at the 40, Jackson to the 45. Jackson's out on the 48-yard line. Ratajkowski and Dave Pereira drove him out, and it's a Notre Dame first down. And now to Dave Dials.
Kurt, not very good news on our first report. It's so cold here that a gentleman fan over in Section 5 has suffered a full cardiac arrest. Many of our fans here have seen the emergency vehicle that just left here, and so we'll await further word on that.
All right, Dave, we have a flag drop. We have a face mask at the end of the play. So this will move Notre Dame into Boston College territory.
And you can see the face mask. That's number 15, Ratajkowski, who got his hand on the mask, and that rarely is a planned situation by a man making the defensive play. You're going for the ball carrier, and sometimes you just inadvertently get the face mask.
First down.
Boston College marched 63 yards for a score. Flutie passing to Brennan. It was Flutie's passing that led him downfield. Notre Dame's now come back, and they're in BC territory for their first time. They'll be on the Boston College 47 with a first down. They're in the I formation. Pinkett is the tailback. There goes Jackson in motion. They give it to Pinkett. Pinkett hit. Shows up. Look at that balance he has. That's why he's great. He's to the 40, still going into the 38. He had 9 100-yard games this year, an all-time Notre Dame record. And he is good inside and outside. He's hard to knock off his feet. He has excellent balance.
And so far, the field hasn't bothered him at all. Let's count the number of Boston College men have a shot at him. That's 1. Here's 2 that have had a hand on him and missed him. Then he makes a great move to the outside, has got enough speed to break that tackle, then moves back inside before Ratajkowski makes the tackle.
We have second down, a yard to go. Notre Dame moving. They're on the Boston College 38. Boston College is ahead 6-0. They're in the split backfield, a wide split. This is something new for them. They haven't used this much this year. Give it right back to Pinkett. Pinkett is stopped at the 37. Let's take a look at the Boston College defense right now. They play a 5-man front.
And that's Paul Shaw, one of the defensive ends, 6'2", 230-pound senior. Harrington is the tackle. He's 6'2", 256 pounds. Middle guard, they think he's the best player on the team defensively. Ruth, he weighs 254 pounds. Swanky is the other defensive tackle. And the outside linebacker is Lubashir, 6'2", 220-pound senior.
And they're measuring for this first down. Notre Dame has it on the Boston College 37. So Notre Dame has moved from its 13 to the Boston College 37. First down. The score 6-0. Boston College, 9:28 to go in the first period. Pinkett now has carried the ball 3 times for 14 yards. Both tailbacks have excellent averages this year. Pinkett has averaged 5.6 yards a carry. Hitting is the fullback this time over his left guard, squirming over the 35 to the BC 34. Rob Swanky and Mike Ruth made the stop. Now the 2 linebackers, and one of them is a great one, and there he is.
Diassi, leading tackler on the team, 79 unassisted, 32 assisted tackles, total of 111, 6'2", 238-pound junior. And Gaffney, the other linebacker, 6'2", 25-pound sophomore. They're both quick. They've both got excellent ability to cover the field, speed.
It is 2nd down 8, Notre Dame on the Boston College 35. Blair Keel with a split backfield.
Notre Dame.
They sit on the ball a long time. They've nearly run their time out every play. That time he was trying to audible, I think, Bud, and they didn't like it. And so they've taken a timeout the way Flutie did earlier. So each team has 2 timeouts left here in this first half. The clock shows 8:27 to play in the first period. The score is Boston College 6, Notre Dame nothing.
Now Washington's better.
Way better.
Nashville's better.
Far better.
Cat Sports, your host here tonight. Memphis, Tennessee, temperature 11 degrees. But both teams performing very well here in this bitter cold.
Very few errors so far.
2nd down 8. Notre Dame on the Boston College 34.5. Big drop back by Keel. And the pass is a bad one. It's low out in the right flat, intended for Pinkett, who also leads the Notre Dame team in pass receiving. Let's take a look at that defensive secondary.
And the strong safety is Dave Pereira, 5'10", 204-pound junior. The weak safety, Tony Thurman, who's supposed to be, in the opinion of the coaches, the best player in the defensive secondary. Radichowski is the left cornerback. He's had 4 interceptions this year, 188-pound senior. And Todd Russell, the right cornerback, who's had 3 interceptions. He's 6'1", 178 pounds.
3rd down 8. We have a penalty coming up. They're talking to Keel. We've had only 1 penalty so far. That's a face mask against Boston College. Here's another one against them. This moves the ball to the BC 30.
Offsides. Defense. Repeat the down.
That was a big penalty, Kurt. It was going to be 3rd down and 8, and it's now 3rd down and 3. 2nd down.
Second down 3.
Second, not 3.
High formation. The tailback is Alan Pinkett. Chris Smith is the fullback. 2nd and 3. Pinkett has the ball. He escapes, gets the first down and more. He's slammed down to the BC 20, hit there by the safety man, David Pereira. And again, he snaked away from 2 or 3 Boston College players who are bouncing off him. Can't seem to hold him.
I think the footing has got a little bit to do with it, but not that much. I think Pinkett is just a very elusive ball carrier. You can see the very solid blocks by the Notre Dame forward wall, and then the spinning, turning Pinkett driving for the first down. Pereira making the tackle.
Well, he now has 6-yard average in this game. 4 carries, 24 yards. Joe Paterno says he reminds him very much of Tony Dorsett. On the small side, but explosive and hard to knock off his feet. First down, Notre Dame. Boston College 20. Pinkett on a reverse. Coming around is Alvin Miller, the freshman flanker. He's inside the 15 and down to the 13-yard line. So Notre Dame coming up with trickery. They like these flanker reverses.
Reverse at this point, when you're driving, it appears to be a dangerous play, but the Boston College defense was starting to pursue very, very rapidly, and when you are moving rapidly with the flow of the play, the reverse is always open, and you can see the pursuit moving to the left side of your screen. They see the reverse coming, and the linemen now of Notre Dame have moved down, got blocking position, and do an excellent job of picking up the secondary people of Boston College.
Second down 3 on this long Notre Dame drive. They're on the Boston College 13. They hand it to Pinkett. Pinkett slashing away to the 10 and is stopped there. Maybe just inside the 10. Ratajkowski, the left cornerback, had to get him there, and with some help by Tony Thurman, they look to the sidelines now, and we could get a measurement. Let's see.
On almost every down, Kurt, Boston College gets set in one defensive alignment, and then while Notre Dame is taking that long starting count, they change their defensive alignment to change the blocking assignments of the Notre Dame offensive line, but thus far it hasn't bothered them a bit.
Notre Dame has a 1st and goal to go. Just inside Boston College's 10-yard line. 6-0, Boston College. Notre Dame with a scoring threat. Fullback, Smith. He's hit on the 8, powers forward to the 7. Chris Smith of Cincinnati, Ohio. Steve Diassi, the All-East linebacker of Boston College, made the stop on the 7 at 2nd down, 7 to go for a Notre Dame touchdown. Remember, they started this drive on their 13.
And the Boston College defensive coach signaling in the defensive pattern that he wants to use, the alignment and then the stunts.
You know, Notre Dame was 9th in the nation total offense, 14th total defense, and still won 6 and lost 5. Jerry Fawcett, I'm still trying to figure that one out. 2nd down, 7 to go for a Notre Dame touchdown on the BC 7. Pinkett to the 10, to the 5, and the little guy goes to the 4. He has power. He's 5'9", weighs 184. Very strong thighs and upper body.
That was a great defensive play by Pereira. He had an open field tackle against Pinkett, and rarely does one man nail him that cleanly.
3rd down 4 for a Notre Dame touchdown. Boston College ahead. They went 63 yards as Flutie hit 3 out of 5, threw 17 yards to Brennan for the score, and now Notre Dame has come pounding right back down the field. Split backfield. This is a 3rd down play. They try to draw, and he's at the goal line. I don't believe he's over. That's Chris Smith, the fullback, and he's seeing a lot of action here with the ball in the 1st period.
Excellent time to run the draw play. 3rd down long. The defense was thinking pass, and they rush the pass hard. That sets it up for the draw. He's very close to the touchdown.
1/2 yard away. Chris Smith just failed to go over. Gaffney stopped him there, and now it's 4th down and a 1/2 yard to go. Alvin Miller is out, and Brian Bamer, the 2nd string tight end, comes in for more blocking power. Pinkett is the tailback. You notice they have 3 backs there. They have the offset back for blocking. 4th and a 1/2 yard for a score. Pinkett dives, and he's got it. Alan Pinkett's over, and he has just scored his 19th touchdown. He set an all-time record for Notre Dame this year with 110 points in the regular season. He had 18 touchdowns and a 2-pointer, and now that's his 19th touchdown. Watch
Very
him.
fine line takeoff. As you can see, they're driving low. Then Pinkett has room to come up over the top, and he's got enough spring in his legs to put him up in there. As we take another look at it from a different angle, you can see how they're cut down the defensive lineman and how high he comes up and over to score.
Pinkett scored with 4:24 to go in the 1st period. Mike Johnston for the point. He's missed only 1 this year, and his kick is up, and the kick is good, and Notre Dame has the lead. They had an 87-yard drive. There's Pinkett. Is he all right? 87-yard drive, a time-consuming drive. It took 16 plays, a coach's dream. We'll be back. The score, Notre Dame 7 and Boston College 6. Jack Bicknell, Cowboy Jack, they call him down here. I didn't know it. He likes Western music. I said, how far west you been? He says, the farthest is College Station, Texas. I said, well, I got to take you out to Wyoming sometime. But he loves Western music and brought his guitar, and he's sort of been a hit around here. He's a Very likable man, isn't he, Bud?
And an excellent football coach. He signals the formation. They play from 26 or 27 different offensive formations, and then they have a substitute player come in to call the play.
Again, it's Tyrone Taylor and Ken Bell, the deep man. Bell on the far side, away from you. Taylor the closest. And Carney will kick off with a slight breeze at his back. That drive at Notre Dame's, by the way, took 7 minutes and 43 seconds. They had the ball nearly half of the first period in that drive. All right, the kick is a low one. Will be bounding around, and it's fielded on the 5 by Taylor. He's up to the 10. Gets up to the 18, and that's it. That's the objective of the kickoff team. Hold your opponents within the 20-yard line, and you've done your job.
And, of course, the bouncing ball skittering around the turf gave the defensive coverage a chance to really get downfield before Boston College could organize a return.
All right, the last time they had the ball, Flutie took them quickly in the score, hitting 3 out of 5, passing to Brennan for the score. It's Flutie, Stratford, Beestick, Phelan, Brennan, and Gieselman in the skill position. Phelan in motion. Flutie out of the pocket. Short pass to the 24, to 25. Stratford came out of the backfield and reaches the 25 of Boston College. Hit by John Otry, the tackle who trailed the play.
On the previous drive, Stratford dropped the ball. He almost trips here over his center, Besser, but he does get back, gets his balance. He's a great athlete, drills the ball. Stratford on a little curl pattern out of the backfield.
Flag down. Boston College committed 2 penalties in that Notre Dame drive that hurt Boston College. They would have had a 3rd and 7. An offside by BC gave Notre Dame a 2nd and 3, enabled them to continue the drive.
Penalty apparently is against Notre Dame. No, it's not. It's against Boston College on a big one.
So that's the 3rd penalty against BC, none against Notre Dame.
Holding. Offense. First down.
There's the scoring drive, as we already told you. Ball's on the 9-yard line now of BC. 1st and 20. By the way, the 2nd string center, Bob Bissers, is in there. The 1st string center, Jack Bicknell, the son of the coach, has a bad toe, hurt in practice. They're worried about that on the exchange. That passes to Brennan, and it's a little behind him and fired hard in this frigid night air, and it's incomplete. Naylor was covering. So it is 2nd down and 20. Boston College pinned back to their 9-yard line. What about a 2nd string center who hasn't snapped a lot this year on the exchange with the quarterback, Bud?
Well, he's a 4-year letterman, so that gives you a little more confidence than you normally have, but you always hate to lose your starter. Jack Bicknell said, not worried about him being my son. I'm worried about him being our center.
Yeah, center. He'll be in there for the long snaps on punts and field goals. 2nd down 20. Boston College on their 9. Notre Dame's ahead, 7-6, 1st period. Flutie on the handoff. They're going to pin him down. There's another flag down, and they roll Beestick out of bounds for Janik, who leads Notre Dame in tackling. Made the stop on him, and I think this penalty's against Stratford. This penalty's against Boston College also. Notre Dame was supposed to come into this game maybe a little over anxious and tight. It's been the other way around. They've played almost mistake-free football. Boston College now is into its 4th penalty of the 1st period.
And the penalty was for clipping. I would assume that Notre Dame would refuse the penalty.
Decline.
I think it was Beestick. Notre Dame declines the penalty, so they'll lose the down. It'll be 3rd down and 20, Boston College. They had that ball on the 9-yard line. Now it's back in the 7. That's where he ran out. It's 3rd down and 22. Lone setback. Slot left, slot right. Now Stratford's in motion. Trying to spread them out. A handoff, not going too far. That's Beestick, the fullback. fullback. Good power runner up the middle. Couple of touchdowns against Alabama. He's just short of the 15. Tony Furjanic and Chris Brown teamed up for the tackle. There goes Beestick out, and it's a punt formation now for Boston College. Quickly to Dave Dial.
You know, it isn't speech, Kurt. You and I and Bud have sat in on so many, but yesterday, terrific speech by former Treasury Secretary Simon at the luncheon here at the Liberty Bowl. I wish we had time for you to give it all, but all of us were stirred by that speech about patriotism.
Oh, aren't you nice? And this is the year to talk about it, too, because we're going to have an Olympic Games in Los Angeles in '84. They're going to make all Americans proud.
Well, you're heading up the Olympic Committee. I got the feeling in Lake Placid a few weeks ago when we had the first of the 6 hockey games between the U.S. and the Soviets. That place was jumping, and I felt that the Olympic spirit is really alive right now. Is it, Mr. Secretary, better than it's ever been?
I've never seen the enthusiasm that I'm seeing now in the 20 years I've been on the Olympic Committee. The enthusiasm of the American people, and it's matched by the enthusiasm and the dedication of our athletes. We're going to have a great Olympics, and we're going to have the greatest Olympic team in our history.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you, Dave. Nice to be with you.
Back to the game.
And while we had the interview, Boston College punted a short punt of 32 yards. Notre Dame has the ball right back in BC territory at the BC 47 with their split backfield. Still Pinkett and Smith. The toss is to the fullback Smith to the 45, and he goes to the 40. Notre Dame moving on the ground against Boston College.
They're taking
seven-yard pickup.
They're taking very big splits, Kurt, on their offensive line. That's forced Boston College to widen their men. Their linebackers are playing about 4 or 5 yards deep, and they're not getting quick enough support against the run.
We have a flag down. This is against Notre Dame. I believe it's holding.
Kind of in the same pattern. Both teams scored the first time they have the ball, and both teams get beset by penalties the second time they've had the ball.
And a complete different style of drives. A quick passing drive downfield by Boston College, and then slugging away back a long one by Notre Dame.
Holding, 10-yard penalty, offense, retreat to down.
That's the first penalty against Notre Dame. You don't think it's cold? 11 degrees, maybe even lower now as the night goes on. Notre Dame on its 44-yard line. First down 20. They're ahead 7-6. 2:45 to go in the first period. Pinkett and Smith in the I formation. Blair Keel off to Pinkett. They jam him that time at the 45. Coming up to hit him, Mike Ruth, who bench presses 535 pounds. Boston College thinks he's the best nose guard in the country. He's only a sophomore, and he's going to be a priest. He had some help from Rob Swanky, the right tackle. It'll be second down now, 19 for Notre Dame.
Ruth has got great strength, and he's built compactly for a football player. Not too tall, 254 pounds, and strong.
Joe Howard spreads to the left. Keel on the rollout play. He'll throw. Now they chase him. They've got him. He fumbles the ball. And Notre Dame, they're all scrambling forward to the Notre Dame 37. I believe Notre Dame recovered. First time anybody's dropped the ball tonight on a handoff. The sack was by Mike Ruth. Chris Smith recovered the fumble. The fullback very alertly.
Very unusual to be rushed that hard on a rollout or sprint out pass, but it gives you some idea of the speed that Ruth possesses from the nose guard position.
Third down and 27 for Notre Dame on their own 37-yard line. We're approaching 1 minute to play in the first period. The Irish are ahead 7-6. Again, the split backfield, which has been effective as a running game for them. He hands it off to Smith. Smith to the 42. Smith carried the ball only 70-some times all year. He must have 7 or 8 carries alone here in this first period.
He's made 77 carries during the regular season, but he averaged 5.5 yards per try, so he's been an effective ball carrier.
Now the quarterback is the punter, Blair Keel. Keel has averaged just over 40 yards a kick, 40.6.
And we may get a very strong rush here. There's only one safety man back for Boston College. they're ready to go with 9 men along the line of scrimmage.
4th down, 23. Brennan is the safety man. The All-American wide receiver. A high snap. They did get the rush. They knocked him down. No flag, though. No flag down. And the ball rolling around is dead at the 26. They just avoided running into him. They had a strong rush, as Bud Vogelson called it. So Boston College will take over on its own 26-yard line. And they gain 19 yards on the exchange of kicks.
Ball right here. Ball.
11 seconds to go in the first period. BC's ball on their 26.
And they do believe that they can block a punt before this game is over.
Notre Dame hasn't had a punt blocked all year. Lone setback. Flutie trying to throw a quick one. Now out he goes with it. Just a little over the reach of Jim Brown, the fullback. Flutie has all the touches. He can fire hard. He can feather it to you. He can make you run under the ball. If there's any improvement in him, the coaches say it's his technical knowledge of the game.